Well, it isn't true. Under law, people can record, and it's a public meeting. As you say, there may be issues if a member of the public are in. But that may be asked, and it's not the law.
Anyone can record in a public place.
Yeah.
But they can't. They can do it for personal
And
use,
disseminate it.
but they can't publish it online.
Yes, they
can.
can. Yes,
They're
they
allowed.
can.
You can't be an independent journalist and do it.
Well,
That's how the journalists do it, and I checked it all when I was at Dorset.
I'm sorry I'm taking up time on this, but
I can refer you to government guidelines and
If people find it offensive, why would you do it?
it doesn't matter. We are a public body, and anybody has the right to record.
It's like CCTV, isn't it? If you're walking about with CCTV, you're going to be recorded.
yes, but there's no
It's public. It's public.
CCTV. You have to put a notice out if you're operating CCTV.
No, in
You do. Sorry.
no, there is the law.
I don't understand what the problem with videoing it is unless someone's worried about what you're going to be videoing.
I don't have a problem with anybody videoing any of it. I have a problem with them broadcasting it.
Why?
They're legally entitled to.
It's a public.
But no, my question is, if people find that offensive, why would you go ahead and do something that you know is offending people when there's no material benefit to you
Because,
doing
as
it?
you just said, this is a public body, it's a public meeting, so the public have the right to view it. If they cannot attend this meeting, they have the right to be able to see and hear what's being said.
You can show it to other members of the public.
It's just not true. You are totally entitled under law.
Honestly, under British law, I could take a video of anything and post it as long as it's in public, and as long as it's public accessible, you can do what you want with it.
Yeah.
As long as you're not in some private area.
Okay, on 12F, paragraph 12F of the standing orders of the parish council, subject to publication of the draft minutes in accordance with Standing Order 12E and Standing Order 20A, and following resolution which confirms the accuracy of the minutes of the meeting, the draft minutes or recordings of the meeting for which approval minutes exist shall be destroyed.
No,
That's your minutes.
Totally different.
That's your
No.
minutes as well.
Yeah,
Our standing
but
orders-
that's when we
So, in
record
other
it
words,
for ourselves. The
we-
public can do what they want.
we will have to amend our standing orders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask
As
why
it
you do it?
stands.
What's the purpose? I don't understand why you're doing it.
Why? Because you say one thing and then change it completely the next time. Say you didn't say it. So we're just getting it clarified.
I don't think that's true. Would you?
Well, if it's recorded, then it's
Well, no,
it's
I wouldn't. No, you're quite right.
I don't believe councillors are going to make false statements, basically.
Okay.
Although I've nothing to worry about.
Well, there's no problem then, is there?
Anyway, if we can move on, please. Is there anything else, please?
On a cheery note then, I'll just give you an update on blooming Saltfleet. Obviously the council donated some funds last year, thank you very much for that. And we just wanted to give you an idea what we've been spending the money on. All the groups see the accounts anyway every month, so they know where the money's gone. So we've just bought a big planter, which rather than just buy it from the internet, we bought from Interskill in Louth because they work with adults with learning difficulties, so I thought that was a good cause to spend the money with there. So that's quite a big planter, it's not gone up yet. Obviously the things are going there, the compost, outcore, paint for all the other things that are going on. Biggest expense is plants and bulbs. There'll be a lot of bulbs coming up on Main Road by the bush shelter and on the banking outside the ex-chairman's house. High-vis jackets. By the time we've finished, just under £500 has been spent so far. So it's just to give you an update where some of the money's gone.
Thank you very much. Any other queries?
So you still haven't got any gates on the playing field yet?
Say again?
Got a
Still no
price.
gates on the-
It's
It's on the agenda tonight.
What we do is wait for the tree to grow.
No, you have to get three, you have to put out for 3 quotes because it's public money. We have got a quote and I hope.
No, I'm just talking about the two
No,
gates
it's
for
just
the
the gates.
actual play
All
area.
right, okay.
The two gates for the actual play areas that have been missing. Sort of two.
Yeah, it's on the agenda tonight, and we have got a price for it.
Well, it's
So hopefully,
originally discussed in December, and now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're spending public money, you have to get put out for 3 quotes. You can take 2 quotes if you can only get 2 quotes, but you have to try and do a competitive tender.
What quotes have you got?
So it's on the agenda for later on, I don't know.
Yeah, it's in, the quote we received at the moment is, the same quote, same person, I should say, doing the bus shelter. So, they,
How much was he quoted?
say again,
How much is he quoted?
85. But are you talking about the gates?
Yeah.
Yeah, 85 for fittings and. Okay. Good. Right. We're still for time anyway.
Chair, could I ask, from the last meeting, you seemed to suggest there was a difference between the word permit and the word licence, and I wonder if you could clarify that.
In a meeting, we were talking about permits and licences were in another aspect in reference to something else.
I could explain this one,
Okay.
please, if you want. Because I know I'm on the internet now, for that meeting, we put a thing out saying, well, that part of that meeting. Right, the beach permits and beach and shooting licences are 2 completely different issues. The beach permits, which we were discussing at that meeting, we introduced because we had problems with Natural England, Lincolnshire County Council and the public with complaints that people were driving on the beach and misusing the beach area, and it's an SSSI. Okay.
So my
We've
question is
had-
really one of semantics. What is the difference between a permit and a licence?
But if you allow me to finish,
Okay.
I'll tell you. And so about, this may not be gospel, but it was somewhere around 2005, 2010, we agreed with Lincolnshire County Council and Natural England that we would issue permits from the Parish Council, and they limited us to, I think, 12 a year, because parishioners have had historic rights to collect flotsam, jetsam and rod fishing off the beach, and that goes way back to before it was an SSSI and before Lincolnshire County Council took over. Okay, so in order to maintain those, we were allowed to have 12 beach permits per year. As I said in that meeting that I'm sure you've all seen, that beach permit scheme that was last issued 5 years ago. It was in March 2018, and I know it said in the draft minutes at the time that we resolved not to do it again and blah blah blah. We didn't vote, we didn't resolve because we didn't need to, because we'd already stopped doing it 5 years ago. And as I said in that meeting, as I'm sure you've all seen, we're not going to be issuing beach permits again, and it has been part of the deal we're trying to do with Lincolnshire County Council and Natural England to carry on having access to the SSSI. So, and there has to be some trade-offs. But we haven't issued any beach permits since March 2018. A shooting licence is a licence for people, well, there are 2 forms. There is a shooting licence, which allows you to use rifles, which people keep saying bullets flying around and all the rest of it. Bullets come from rifles. There has never been a rifle permit on that beach. Okay, it's only been for wildfowling, and it's only for first flight, dawn flight and dusk flight.
Yeah.
So you're really looking at maximum an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, and that's limited to, I believe, 5 months of the year as well. And it is extremely heavily regulated. Okay, because we lease the land from Lincolnshire County Council, we have to grant that licence, the wildfowling licence, for them to carry on doing it. And that's what we've been doing on a 10-yearly basis from about 1980. Well, it started off it started in the early 80s anyway, when we had people coming from all over the country to shoot on the sand hills and on the beach and all the rest of it. So it had to be restricted, and that's what we did. So yes, we are renewing the wildfowling licence on a 10-year thing, as we should have done when it ran out last year. But no, we will not be issuing any more beach permits. And it looks like in the negotiations, I don't want to preempt it, but it does look like we will lose any rights to vehicular access, rod fishing, or collecting of flotsam, jetsam and whatever off that beach as of whenever we make this agreement.
So in the video reference that was posted on social media, Councillor Williams reference to permits, he was talking about these beach permits for the vehicular traffic, not shooting.
Point of order. I asked the question initially, it was about wildfowling. If we want to play the video again, it was about wildfowling, if we do it. And I don't understand how we could possibly go with a 10-year licence when even Natural England only do year by year. And it was said there would be no more. There is no need, I've said this time and time again, there is no need for us to grant anything because Natural England do it. They do a permit that is very tight, very restrictive. It looks at risk assessments, it looks at environmental impacts.
Yeah,
I don't understand why the parish council would even consider it.
Because it's
We are
the
not
law.
the right authority for it.
No, the exact opposite. It's because it's the law. Natural England
What law?
Natural England have a 96-page thing this year that goes every year
I've read
to
it.
right, fine, then you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, but the land doesn't belong to Natural England. The land belongs to Lincolnshire County Council, and we lease the land from Lincolnshire County Council. So we have the shooting rights for that land. Natural England don't, Lincolnshire County Council don't. Okay? So the only people that
I'm
can
sorry,
do it,
what's ticking? Oh, it's
the only people that can license the wildfowling on the area that we lease is us, because we're the leasers.
but I still think we should not be doing it. And we do not currently have a 10-year lease with the county council. We are still on a rolling lease. So
right, okay.
I would argue nothing should be done until we have that lease in our hand. As it is, the shooting season doesn't even start till October, so there's no rush.
The
Well, it's still running.
it's still running at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
But
But it will finish in a couple of weeks. We have then until October before there's even any need for any licence.
no, I think the reason the last clerk failed to notice the lease coming up, it should have been renewed at renewal. The idea now is to make sure that the lease starts and finishes at the end of the season, so that we don't run into this situation again. where it's
The last
interrupted halfway
clerk
through.
was she was having meetings, I think that's wrong to say she did that, she was on it and she was having meetings with the county council officers. And I think it's something until it's been,
You're talking about Matthew.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
if it's Stephanie was on it. She was already in meetings with the county council officers.
I think the only people dealing with Lincolnshire County Council, you came to one meeting,
I
and
came
John and
to
I
one.
were dealing with them. Regarding the lease you're talking about.
There was a lot of issues, but at least was
No,
one.
the lease, Stephanie's had nothing to do with the lease whatsoever. The lease is running over, but Lincolnshire County Council have over 200 leases
Yeah.
that are running over.
But
And Lincolnshire County Council don't want to do a new lease because they're happy for it to run over.
they're
It's
not
still
happy for it to run over, they've just not made a decision yet. I've spoken to officers from there.
Well, I can only go from the man that we're dealing with, and that's what he said.
All I've known is at the moment they've not made a decision. Full stop, they've not made a decision.
Could I just ask, the lease that the land that you're leasing from the council, what is the purpose for that lease to Saltfleet?
Originally, it gave us some control over that land.
Yeah.
That has been eroded both by the SSSI and by the Humber Estuary Scheme.
Yeah.
I think Lincolnshire County Council don't want to manage it. They have a management plan with us which has also lapsed with the lease, and what we're looking at the moment is in the next month or so to have a meeting with Natural England, Lincolnshire County Council and the Parish Council to see where we do go forward. I don't want to preempt it, but I suspect they won't do anything until the Humber Estuary Scheme review is completed by Natural England, which is starting this year.
I just wondered what the purpose of the Parish Council leasing that land was.
Originally, as I say, it was control over the land.
Right.
Because it gave us the
But
rights
now
to
what
access
is it?
it. At the moment, we don't know because we haven't negotiated a new deal with Natural England and Lincolnshire County Council.
Right.
The main things that we're concerned about are the access for the boat club,
Yeah.
access for the commercial fishing,
Yeah.
and we would like to retain rod fishing for villagers, but that's looking harder to actually to get.
Right.
We're definitely going to lose the vehicular access.
Right.
That's definitely going to go. So that's where we are, but we won't know until we sit down with them as to how much they're willing to give or take. What I will say is if we lose it, we'll lose it forever.
Yeah.
We won't get it back. And we're the only village on this section that has that right.
Can I ask when the Parish Council last arranged a litter pick for that area that we licensed, because it is under the terms of our lease that we manage the area and arrange litter picks and things?
Yeah, well, that went with the beach permits. I'm not aware of us organising one since we lost the beach permit access.
When was the one before that?
March 2018.
Right.
But the wildflowers have been doing regular litter picks on that. Yeah, all of the rubbish. Yeah, they go exactly with
No.
well,
If they pick up the rubbish, they're picking up the rubbish. Why are they leaving shotgun cartridges down there?
well, it's not necessarily them leaving shotgun cartridges.
Oh, for goodness
Well, I don't
sake.
go down there with a shotgun.
Okay, well, somebody posted a picture of a rusty shotgun cartridge and said, "Oh, look, they're shooting again this weekend." Now, cartridges don't rust like that. They also can be carried by the water. So there is shooting down this coast, and there are illegal shooters. Now, if you find a shotgun cartridge, that does not mean that the wildfowlers have left it there. And certainly the photo that I saw was up on the foreshore. It wasn't anywhere near where they're shooting anyway. So
I mean, there's accretion on that beach, and a lot of the deposits on the beach has come down from Yorkshire. The erosion up there is totally significant.
nothing personal.
It is very possible that could have originated in Yorkshire, that cartridge, as far as goes. Sea coal gets deposited on the foreshore there. Used to be collected quite a lot often by parishioners. Now that's not very light as such, but it does come and end up on the beach. So you can't say that that particular cartridge was originated in the Saltfleet area. It could have well have come from Yorkshire. The condition of it.
I'm a Yorkshireman, so I'm not going to talk about that. Can I just ask about the lease? So if you're going to give a 10-year lease, but you're on a rolling lease with the council at the moment for a year, whatever.
Again, you're talking cross purposes.
Right.
At the moment, the lease is us leasing the land from Lincolnshire County Council.
Right. But that's on a rolling one till it's signed over.
Yeah, that's just what they say, it's run over, so it just carries on until a new one's put in place.
The question was, if the council decided not to renew that in a year, 2 years, what would happen to the 10-year lease or what's left of it that you give to the wildfowlers?
That's with Lincolnshire County Council legal at the moment,
Right.
because there are two ways of doing that. One is that Lincolnshire County Council grant the lease as the freeholders, okay?
Yeah.
but we'd have to agree because we're the leaseholders, or we do just renew the lease as we always have done, but they would then have to agree in case they don't renew the lease, because if they didn't renew the lease or they actually took back the freehold within the 10-year period of the shooting licence, obviously they could be in an awkward situation legally. So at the moment, the last I've heard from Lincolnshire County Council was that they would like us to do the lease, and they will give permission for it to happen even though it's a rolling. The licence, sorry.
But that's the point, to avoid an awkward legal situation.
That's exactly the situation.
Why don't you wait until you've got the lease sorted with the lease?
Because that could be 20 years.
Can I call a halt on the forum at the moment? I've just got to finish off with the posting on social media of Swish, which I gather is what was the meaning of it now? The Saltfleet wild fouling or something, stopping anyway. The bird shown is apparently classed as vermin nationally, and you've got a sign there saying no shooting. So you may wish to change.
What's the bird shown?
Is a goose. It's classed as vermin.
Yeah.
So you may
It's
wish
still
to change.
wildlife. I doubt it wouldn't
No,
matter
but
what
you
it
may
is,
wish
it's
to
still
change
wildlife.
the actual bird.
So why don't they shoot them?
Okay, thank you very much. Say again?
Do you want to introduce me and Sarah Johnson?
Yeah, I'll.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry.
Right, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of issues going on in reference to wildfowling, etc. I think maybe some of the questions need to be written down, emailed to the council or whatever, and then we can look at it and give you information back, okay? Because it is taking a lot of time of the parish council.
Actually,
Sorry?
can I speak in at the end of the public session? Yeah, I was just going to say, we have, just to remind you, or tell people you didn't already know, but we have resolved to employ somebody, and we are advertising to employ somebody as an administrator to take all of the parish records, copy them, redact them, scan them and publish them. So if you can give us enough time to actually find somebody to do this work, pretty much all of these freedom, we went 22 years without a Freedom of Information Act request, and we've had nearly a dozen in a few months. I think the best way forward is for us to just publish everything. But we physically can't do that without somebody to help. And we are advertising for somebody. So in the meantime, if you have got any questions, as Peter said, if you want to email the parish email or any of us, we'll do our best to answer it straight away without the law and all the rest of it being involved. But as soon as we can get somebody, then all of this can be published. What slowed that up, and we've had one recently, which has now gone to the Information Commissioner's whatever complaint box or whatever, is I thought, right, fine. We had a request for all of the insurance documents going back 10 years. Well, it actually comes to hundreds and hundreds of pages. So we managed to get that down to saying, well, will you just take the schedule at the front? And said, right, fine, we'll do that. But having spoken to the information people at East Lindsey, we're not allowed to do that either. That has to be photocopied. Names, policy numbers, addresses, all that has to be redacted out. Then it has to be photocopied, scanned again, and then done. So it's not like people are saying, oh, it's only 50 pages. But it's not 50 pages, it's 50 pages that have got to be photocopied, redacted, scanned, and sent. Now, if we're employing somebody to do that for everything, once we've caught up, each month they can just have a dozen bits of paper, bosh, on it goes. But until we've got somebody, it's going to be really, really difficult to go through the 4-drawer filing cabinet and publish it all. And it turns out that our current insurance, we only got from the last clerk this week. So we've been looking for it everywhere. It turns out she's still got it. So, do you know what I mean? It's not, I don't think we need to involve the police in this. I don't think it's a theft or anything deliberate. But you need to cut us some slack just to get us the time to find somebody to get all this published. Because then all these things become irrelevant because it's all in the public domain.
Could I just ask a quick question?
Sorry.
As a parish council, does it not concern you that you're getting all these freedom of information requests, and also the amount of people that are turning up who are clearly not happy with the way that you're conducting
I'm
yourself
sorry,
as a parish council?
I must draw a line on public forum. But take note of your point. Yes, there are concerns. And I must thank actually Councillor Warsop for attending today. She's had a lot of family problems. She's funeral for one of her relatives, and also the birthday party that she's missing this evening. So, going on to police matters, I've not had or been able to find out anything relating to the village. But I'm going to fill that slot now. I've got a point later on, highways, but Angus Energy here, they would like to address the parish council. So I'm going to ask them if we
Well, no, I think
the highways. Say again?
I was going to bring that agenda item. That's putting you on the spot. About a quart of blood dropped out of your face then. No, I was going to say, this is Mick Wells and Sarah Johnson, who very kindly come from Angus Energy today. We've been speaking to them over the last few months about setting up a liaison thing like we used to do, as Sandra will know, with Saltfleet. And we think probably quarterly will be plenty.
I think so, yeah. Like
Same as we did before, yeah. So if anybody has issues, they can bring them to us and we can try and resolve them directly with Angus Energy, rather than streams of complaints and whatever. The most of the complaints we've had recently, I mean, I think most of the noise things, it's the nature of your business that you're going to be clearing people off with the noise. Yeah, I get that, and particularly in our area where there's nothing, it travels a long way depending on the wind direction. But most of the complaints we've had have been about people just pulling straight off the site and turning left, straight into the traffic coming out the village, with literally just not even looking, pulling straight out. And I know I've had a couple of near misses, and my wife has, and most people who skip your opinion around. I've heard, have you had anything, Dennis?
I don't think too bad.
Not too bad, but that's been the majority of the things that have been put. I brought it up with them, and they have put up some signage now coming off the site, highlighting the hazard. And I mean, how much good it will do, I don't know, but it shows willing.
We put the proper road sign on, and then we put look both ways.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it does show they're showing willing, if you know what I mean. And we had a very good relationship with Winglass and with Yokoil before.
We tried to get the mirrors that we're not allowed.
Yeah, you had to get planning for that. Yeah.
No, we was refused.
One step forward, but thank you very much for taking the time to come tonight, and we look forward to hearing from you on a liaison job. And in the meantime, thank you very much for putting the signage up, and hopefully we'll have fewer people complaining. I know George wants us to be involved in a joint complaint to highways about the road.
He spoke to Neil McBride, and Neil's like saying there's not a lot of money available. There's a pecking order, so if anybody does go in the dike, please photograph it and send it to Guy.
But Wigan, to be fair to them, they've offered to pile the road. To actually, you know that really bad section, that they'll put piling in to I know it's not permanent, but it'll do a few years, and it's a far better mend than we've had previously. But if highways won't do it, Do you know what I mean? If they offer to pay for it and highways say, no, you're not a priority, they've at least shown willing. So,
like Dennis knows, we've actually done from like grass walls to our site, and that's held up really nice. Yeah, the rest of it's. Yes.
no, but that's a very strong argument for it working, because we know it does
still
work.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's been 10 years. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. District councillors and
I was just going to say, sorry. Do you mind if I just get your number in a minute?
Yeah.
About them? Yeah.
do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll make it quick. There was a meeting today about the Land Transport Board and the Active Travel Scheme. So there should be a few noticeable differences within the next week, possibly less. Revisions on the scheme. I mentioned last time about I remembered what it was called, zero carbon parishes, where I told you about it, but you have been put on the list. You are on it for the forthcoming year, so again, think of things that you can, they'll come do the carbon footprint thing, and you can maybe put LED lighting in certain places, etc. There's the shared prosperity fund, and that's for community stuff, to improve infrastructure, and it's got to benefit local residents and businesses. That the grant funding for that is between £5,000 and £50,000. The forms, I think they might be on the East Lindsey website. So, you know, if there's any businesses or the parish wants a particular scheme, just have a look at that. There's possible industrial action by fire and rescue, although I'm pretty certain that it doesn't affect this area. It's more the inland big towns, etc. And that's about it.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you're able to send on the email to us?
Trace it and put it on an email.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You do that, you.
Councillor.
Just a few bits and bobs. These are things that we can send on email, but I'd like to put them on the village social media pages as well. There's some mental health links and some revamped domestic violence links that I think would be useful to go on all the villages that we represent. So if I don't know with the admin, if I post that, will they get approved on the village pages?
I can approve it on Saltfleet News. But if you also send me either by email or by Facebook, I can make sure I cross-post it to the parish council one, because
I'm going to be having the same conversation with all the
no problem. I can cross-post it first.
These are two important subjects that need covering. So.
Yeah, but I think if the other parish councillors are in agreement of me putting those two posts on the parish council Facebook site,
Okay.
just write down it's in agreement. I'll cross-post those for you.
Okay, I'll send that. I think I've got your email address. I think I'll forward those on.
Yeah, or just Facebook me if you want them to go on Facebook.
What was the subject, Miriam?
Domestic violence and mental health. Are these new initiatives?
The mental health one is a survey, but there'll be some extra information on there. The domestic violence is a revamped version because things have changed. There's been a few charities that no longer exist, etc. One Mouth no longer exists.
Yeah.
So there's some slight modifications where people can get access to help. The glass sites, they're going to be slowly removed over the next few months. The hub at Horncastle is now open. I've had the pleasure of being at one of the first meetings there. It's much better for us from a site point of view. I think that is about it. Got lots of links and bits and bobs to stuff that I'll forward on to you, Peter. There's various documents and
Thank you.
bits and bobs. But have you got anything for me?
At the moment. Apologies and acceptance.
We've had
for-
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph
Standing for kids.
and Keith. Yeah. Illness, wasn't it, really?
Yes, 3 months long ago.
Yeah. Declarations of pecuniary interest in accordance with the Localism Act 2011.
Yes,
Okay.
because my son, my grandson are members of Craig.
Okay. On loosely connected to Sheila's declaration of interest, I just declare an interest of a close friend of Sheila's, and that's the only
That
association.
isn't relevant, yeah. You
Okay.
don't need to declare that.
Well, you do if it's close friends who you're supposed to declare. Yeah. Right, because there might be some influence. Right. Right. Sign off minutes of the 5th of December. To be ratified as a true record, deferred from the last meeting on the 9th of January. If there is any issues in it, say again? What was that?
Are you taking the rest of the archives?
No, they're in my. Do you want the archives?
Sorry.
Do you want the archive box?
Where's it?
While you're here and I'm here.
Yeah.
No, that's not, we'll come to that yet. No, the result of minutes. Yeah, I've got that down already. Further in the agenda.
Right, the December one, yeah, the thing, it does say that it was resolved not to issue any more beach permits.
Yeah.
And it wasn't resolved, A, because we didn't have a vote.
Yeah.
So we can't do a resolution without a vote. And B, because as I keep saying, we haven't issued them since March 2018, so it's 5 years.
Okay.
So that needs to be changed in those minutes.
All right. Well, on that aspect, if I append to the minutes, the chair of the meeting does not believe that the minutes of the meeting of the Skidbrook and Saltfleet Haven Parish Council held on the 5th of December in respect of item 7.12.18 village field update. I've got down, and you had down about, which one was that?
I'm not sure the agenda thing, but I remember when I read it, there was a thing that said we resolved not to issue any more beach permits.
Oh yes, it was at the end.
Which was already resolved 5 years ago. And there wasn't a vote, so it can't be resolved without a vote.
Well, change resolved to agreed.
No, it wasn't agreed, because we haven't done it for 5 years.
Can anybody
It's not-
say who watched the video whether it was agreed we wouldn't be issuing any more permits?
No, because we've not done it for 5 years. It
Yeah.
was resolved 5 years ago that we would stop issuing them. That's
Yeah.
when the resolution was. I just confirmed that we won't be issuing any more.
Yeah.
It wasn't resolved
Well,
on that
confirmed,
night. And it wasn't.
confirmed we wouldn't be issuing any more. That, I'm happy with that word.
It's irrelevant. We haven't done it for 5 years, so it makes it sound like we've done something.
Yeah. Well,
And we haven't.
put confirmed in, I've no problem with that word.
Okay, just find that, please.
I think it gives a false impression.
I can't find it.
It's the very last item. I haven't got it with me.
It's me.
I haven't got it with me, but it was the very last item before we closed.
All right, yeah. Was it in the village field updates you were talking about?
No.
No.
Are you on the wrong minute?
5th of December.
Yeah,
What was the item number?
I haven't got it with me.
Okay. Yeah. What did you say, Guy?
I say it gives a false impression because it makes it look as if we made a decision on that evening that we didn't make.
What was the point?
The decision that we wouldn't be issuing beach permits when we'd already made that decision 5 years ago. And
So
it
it's
wasn't resolved.
Would you not just link it to the minutes 5 years ago and say, as confirmed in the minutes 5 years ago, we have confirmed we'll be issuing, there'll be, that way you've linked it to your minutes, so you know, you're not saying you're doing it twice.
Well, number one, no, we didn't do it. And number two...
No, I'm about the minutes from 5 years ago.
Yeah, as soon as we have somebody to publish it...
No, I'm saying, could you not, on these minutes now, could you not just put like a little link saying...
No, because I don't know the
minutes from 5
years ago.
Oh, right.
Once we've got somebody employed, we can publish all of that. But to be honest with you, I think if we're doing that, we'd start with now and work back. Because like this year's is going to be the most important.
Okay.
But if we're employing that's sexist, isn't it? We're employing them, him, her, whoever, then they can work backwards to get everything on there eventually.
Council Company fast now in Natural England do a comprehensive permit with risk assessments and environmental impact assessments, and that the last permits ended 2018, that the Parish Council no longer issue permits for any activity resolved, it says.
Well, it wasn't resolved because we didn't vote on it, and it wasn't decided there because it was done 5 years ago.
But it was certainly agreed, everybody was there. But confirmed we will not be doing it, it's fine, let's just...
So what do you want? Sorry?
Confirmed.
Confirm.
It's confirmed that our situation hasn't changed in the last 5 years.
No, confirmed we will be doing no future ones.
We can't say that because we could resolve to do them in the future.
Yeah, but for now... All I'll say, I'll refer back to the video.
Confirm that.
Yeah, that's quite good. Well, we haven't issued it for 5 years and we've no intention of doing so. To be perfectly honest, I don't think we'd be allowed to. I really don't think we'd get it past them.
I'll just put confirm that not issued last 5 years. That's not a...
Yeah.
It's not a misstatement.
Yeah.
So are we okay with sign that then? As that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. Just happened to be on there. Okay. Next, to resolve as minutes the record of the monthly meeting held on the 9th of January. You all received a copy?
I wasn't at the meeting, so I can't.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure you're correct to do it either.
We were, it was 3, I think.
Okay. Sorry. It was just the 3 of us.
Yeah, 3 is correct number for
We
us.
need to change our standing orders.
We
because
do.
Our standing orders say 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I did
the-
check that, it was because they were copied and pasted for
Yeah,
another.
the previous clerk copied Debbie
Yeah.
Johnson, just pasted it across as well.
So you
No, she admitted it, she had no problem, it was.
proposing second?
Yeah, no, can we just, again, with questions at the last meeting, post the meeting, the clip of the recording, how many times do I have to prove what I say? I want this, I feel that everything I say and everything I put in those minutes was treated as untrue, and I had to prove it with voice recordings. While I am not questioning on lots of other things that people have done, where you could say semantics on it.
The reason I asked to hear was because I want to know if it's been voted on or it hasn't. It wasn't resolved with the vote.
I will get the video for you of
I've
that.
listened it today. It was not resolved with the vote.
It was
You
talked-
said, is that okay? Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
but that doesn't mean. that
Okay,
doesn't
well,
count.
can we change that to agreed by everyone?
Mm.
But again, it's this thing of putting stuff on, everything I've put on I get questioned on, even though when I've got proof of what I've put on.
Okay, now, may I bring up, reference what you gave me as minutes of the public forum. I had no issues with that. What I had issues were that you were the owner of that document, and you put me down as an editor of the document, and included two members of the public as editors of that document.
Not as editors.
Yes.
I don't even know how to do that, so I might have done it, but if it's been done, it's been done in error.
That was the issue I had, is that two members of the public, I can name them if you wish.
I don't think you should be naming public in here, but you
Alright.
may.
Two members of the public who are present this evening. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. As such,
Well, it's not going to be an issue in future, because I won't be doing minutes.
You can't have members of the public editing council documents.
So if it was, if they were put down as editors, it was in error, because I truly don't know how to do that, so.
Right, well that was what was on it, so
Yeah.
I had to disregard it.
No, it's because I have to change everything over from, I use a Chromebook, so I have to change everything over from Google Docs, so.
So, I didn't slight in not using any of your information. I mean, even the number of parishioners present, I had from another source. So, in that aspect, I only estimated last time when I did the draft, and
I didn't
it
count.
ended up with the same number of people anyway. So on the basis of that, in reference to the draft, the minutes as such, are you happy to second?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can sign this one. Yeah. Matters arising, road safety application, I've received the application from Lincolnshire Road Safety Partnership to be completed and approved in financial item 12A. Bus shelter update.
I think it's 13A actually.
Say again?
That's 13A.
13A, isn't it? No, that's.
Says 13, yeah.
Financial item 12A. Yeah, you got the same.
I've got a different agenda.
Okay. Right. Anyway, bus shelter update.
started Pride in East Lindsey.
Oh, right.
They never got back to me, they just did it.
Okay.
So thank you to East Lindsey.
Okay.
Although I must admit,
We've
the
got that
Pride
from
is
Martin.
rather strange title to use for it.
Why?
Given Pride is usually used for
Proud or something?
yeah. It's just given we have the Pride demonstrations and the Pride in Mablethorpe and everything, it just seemed
I think the
Okay,
Pride,
but-
the Pride demonstrations are actually Pride celebrations.
Yeah.
Celebrating,
yeah,
not
but
demonstrations.
But anyway,
It's not semantics, it's an opposite.
would you give your thanks to that team?
Would you like to give them your thanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you meant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, that's a good email you sent. Yeah.
I couldn't make it, unfortunately.
Right. Just formality, acceptance of chair by myself if approved, because we didn't really formalise it until the next election. If that's okay with everybody? Okay.
Was that a vote?
Is that for those who-
I just want to check.
Okay, all in favour?
Thank you.
It's carried. Resolved.
Selection of vice chair if enough councillors are present because of the problems.
Can I nominate Councillor Williams?
I'll second that.
I'll abstain.
Is that Councillor Williams?
Say again?
Councillor Williams.
As a chair, I can second with one vote and then part and do a second vote if there's a problem. But I'll do it, confirm with monitoring officers that it's okay with that. Okay. So that'll be subject to confirmation.
She's just abstaining.
Okay.
Peter, can you please and Sheila speak up because I'm hard of hearing and I'm struggling.
I'm sorry, Sue.
Yeah, I know, but I'm struggling to hear what you're saying.
Well, we just decided
Well,
I nominated Councillor Williams for vice chairman.
Right.
Peter seconded it.
Yeah. But Councillor Cunliffe is abstained, so in effect of double voted as chair, but we'll confirm that with Val put on it, that's approved.
Okay.
Subject to confirmation. Okay. You may think this funny, but in reference to what Sue just said, in speaking up, if I put earplugs in, I do normally speak louder. It's because I can't hear myself. That's a natural aspect. So maybe next time I'll have earplugs in. Just what apart from spending a lot of time recently, and I think Councillor Forsyth will confirm that, on parish council business,
3 full days.
yeah, it's becoming like a full-time job, non-retired. So anyway, hopefully things will quieten down. There is no clerk for clerk's report. There's not in post. We've got that advertised. We've extended the advert. Parish councillors' reports, matters to raise. I refer to Councillor Williams for the AGAR return.
I dealt with the external auditors contacted us because we were missing 8 questions on the AGAR that the clerk hadn't completed or put no answers to. really nice people there, the Little John auditors. Went through it all, they were happy. It's now been signed off, and I've distributed it to everybody, I believe, in full. And we've now got their invoice as well. We do need to, I think Peter's, oh no, I'm going to go down, all right. Well, somebody has to, I have to put a return to them, and somebody has to be willing to show any member of the public the full AGAR if they want to see it. So I'll put my name down, but and I'll print it all off, and then if anybody does want to see it, they can give me a shout, and I'll either pop round with it, or you can pop up to mine and have a look.
Just send it to me, I'll put it on the Parish Council Facebook group, and then you can refer to that. It'd be easy, I can put it on as a PDF. If you send it as a PDF, I'll put it on.
I'm not sure how much has to be redacted on that though, to do that.
Just check it. If you do, I've made the offer.
Okay. You don't want to do all the rest of the records, do you? Okay. And we have to put in the hours that will be available to look at and all the rest of it. If somebody wants a full copy of it, which I guess will have to be redacted in places as well, we need to charge a fee. And I just thought, rather than fanning around, we could just say 20 quid if you want a full printed copy. But have a full copy available if anybody wants to look at it. Well, I don't know, if we don't put a fee in, then I'm going to be doing 500 copies, and somebody's going to, you know what I mean, we'll end up with 500 more freedom of information.
Have you got a website?
We have a website, yeah.
Did you not just put it all online?
I'm not sure if we're allowed to. I'd have to check that. It only came through the other day, so
I just
literally,
think
I've only
you'd save a lot of paper and effort and...
Yeah, no, we're coming back to that same thing. If we can find somebody as an administrator to do all this properly, then we'll never have these conversations again, because it can just automatically go on.
Previous
Until we get to
versions
that
are on the
stage,
website.
we need to have a process so that if somebody does want to look at it, they can do it, and it's all above board.
Previous AGARs were on the website.
Previous versions are on the website.
Fine.
On your website.
Right, in which case we can publish it. I'm going to check with the monitoring chap again, because
I don't know if anything's redacted, but they are on there.
yeah, well, I didn't realise about the redaction until I spoke to the about doing it.
Yeah.
And the guy at East
I don't
Leeds.
think there's much on you want to redact, to be honest, is there?
I don't think there's any.
I will
There
check.
maybe
Yeah.
just signatures of things, but I
Well,
think
all
there's
the other
very
stuff,
little.
There's names, addresses, reference numbers, anything that a motivated individual could use against us, basically.
I mean, you've got your peculiar interest forms on there, which have all got your names and addresses on.
Yeah, well, that's with these
So
things
you ought
anyway,
to have a
isn't
look at them if you want to cross them off.
it? No, but there could be other addresses on there, couldn't there?
No, I mean, your personal addresses are on.
Yeah, because we're councillors.
Yeah.
It's in the public domain. That's
If
fair
you're
enough.
happy for them, that's all, yeah.
But it's also got Steph's address on it, and that has to be redacted.
No, that.
Do you see? I mean, and so you've got to do it on every single.
No, I'm just saying they're on there already, the other things, that's all.
Yeah. If Steph was still the clerk, I think we'd be able to just publish it.
Yeah.
I think. But anyway, I'll check that and I'll do it. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Response to LCC on foreshore lease. I think you nearly spoke about it anyway.
Well, the only other thing that's changed on that, we are waiting for them to come back from their legals. Somebody did a freedom of information thing for the terms of engagement, I think, from Bishop Farland, but that's been published online as well, and that hasn't been redacted, so it has got names and everything on it. I sent it in good faith, thinking it was, they wanted it for their own use, and it's been published online. So that needs to be redacted. Well, it can't be taken back now, can it? But do you know what I mean? It means, again, with freedom of information, we're going to have to be much more careful about not trusting people, because if we do, they'll just publish it. But the other thing we've had from them is Natural England asked LCC to put some signage up to stop vehicles going over the Haven from Haven Car Park or over the pullover at the end of Sea Lane. And the chap there asked if we would put them up for him. So English Nature told them, Natural England told them, they've asked us. The next day a courier arrived with 10 signs, because he's obviously expecting them to be taken down, I think. So I've put one up on each place, like I said. I've taken photographs of them and I've emailed that to them that he's passed on to Natural England to prove that we are being proactive about doing what they're asking, if you know what I mean.
Two signs up so far.
Yeah, well if they're torn down, I've got another 8 signs to replace them. As
They weren't torn down, they were just ignored by the kite surfers at the weekend.
Was that reported? Yeah. Okay. They did say the police are taking it more seriously, so I think we will get more police activity. Okay.
Renewal of sporting licence update from solicitors.
Well, I've just given you that. Basically, we're still waiting on them. It's basically going to come down to us doing it and them approving it, or them doing it and us approving.
Okay.
Can I ask that we sign nothing is done until we have the licence, the lease confirmed from LCC?
No, because that may not happen. The lease is going to roll over. I don't think we're going to get a new lease from LCC anytime soon.
But we need to wait, we can't do that 10-year.
Yeah, we can. That's exactly what I just said to you. Because it's rolled over, either they will write the lease and we will approve it, or we will write the licence. Sorry, not the lease. Either they will issue the licence. We have amended it to wildfowling and not shooting, incidentally. That's another amendment. But either they will issue it and we will approve them doing so, or we will issue it and they will approve us doing it. But there's not a new lease with LCC in the offing anytime soon, I don't think. So
all I'll ask is that we hold it for maybe 3 months to find out, when we've had these meetings with Natural England and the county, and then rediscuss in 3 months. There is no need to get that licence signed. There is no rush for it. As you said, the season ends soon. It doesn't start again till October. So I'm asking for a 3-month delay to get those meetings with Natural England, with LCC, everything else done.
I think it's something we should have done last year. We resolved that we would do it. Well, we should have done it anyway.
Resolved we should have done what, sorry?
Everybody agreed that we should be renewing the licence, and we should have done it at renewal. So,
is that in the minutes?
No, that was just, it's part of parish council business. It's like marking graves and burying people. It's just stuff that we should be doing anyway. So, I don't think it will be through.
Can I just have it recorded? Can I ask for a vote? If I lose the vote, at least it's recorded.
I don't think it will be through before the end of the shooting season anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I'm asking for a 3-month delay.
Yeah. Is this for the 10-year lease?
Yes, that we sign nothing. We just wait for 3 months until we've had the meetings with Natural England and with the county council.
I think that's going to incur legal fees.
Yeah, at the moment, and from my understanding, the wildfowl.
Why would that incur legal fees?
The wildfowlers, well, the delay with the solicitors, I don't know. But anyway, the wildfowlers apparently.
There won't be, solicitors wouldn't charge for delay. They're charging, I assume, to draft up the licence. When we actually sign it, it's not going to affect anything either way.
So you're approving us drafting it, but not signing it?
If you've drafted it and they're paying for it, and I don't get confirmation, it's the wildfowlers, not the parish council, that paid for it.
Yeah. Well, if that's okay, as long as if it doesn't get signed, we pay the legal fees to the wildflowers.
Oh, absolutely not.
Why would you have to pay the fee for the wildflowers? If not until October, so if they apply for the licence now, you've got until October to actually sign and grant that licence, haven't you? So
no, I said, if it is not then signed, because if they've paid to have the licence drawn up, and then in 3 months' time we decide not to grant them the licence, they've already paid the legal fees in good faith.
But we never agreed at any point in any meeting I've been at that we would instruct solicitors with that last thing.
No, I think this was back in Brian's time. That
Can you prove the minutes for it, please?
I don't think it was minuted.
Well, then
It's part of the council's job to do these things.
No, not for
Well, it is,
wildfire.
because we've done it since 1980.
It doesn't mean
Well,
say it's
just
not.
because you've done something doesn't
You've done
matter.
it since 1980 then in the minutes, won't you? If you haven't got it in the minutes, it never happens.
Yeah.
There's no point where authority was given, as far as I'm aware, from this meeting to yourself, to go get that. If the wildfowlers have instructed a solicitor, if it's got your name on it.
No, the wildfowlers haven't, they can't instruct the solicitor to do a lease over our land.
No, they can instruct one to be drafted.
No, they
Not
can't.
to be
No,
signed.
we have to do it, which is why we've done it. You know,
All I'm asking is for a 3-month delay, and at the end we can bring it back to the table and discuss it. I don't want to put any other conditions in, just that we wait for 3 months.
Yeah, but
Can I ask why you want to delay it for 3 months?
Because I want to speak to Natural England and the Lincolnshire County Council
For what result?
to find out what their views are on it and what they want to do about it. Easy as that.
well, that'll be at the meeting anyway.
Yeah, but in the meeting in 3 months, if in 3 months we look at this again and we've got the views of Natural England and the County Council,
Well,
all I'm asking is that we delay any action.
Well, Natural England have given a grant till August next year anyway, haven't they? Or August this year anyway. So Natural England have already approved wildfowling on the foreshore up to August this year.
No, that's when the lease ends.
No, it's
It
not.
was
That's
up
not a
until
lease.
last.
That's a
Or
consent.
the permit then.
No, it's not a permit, it's a consent. Natural
Yeah.
England have granted a consent
I
to the
just don't understand
wildfowlers.
why there's a problem with having a 3-month delay.
Why do you want to delay something that's been going for 40 years? For 3 months.
Something's been going on for 40 years, it doesn't mean it's right, does it?
Sorry?
No.
If something's been going on for 40 years, it doesn't mean it's right.
I never said it was. I can't understand why there's such a big thing about wanting to delay something for 3 months when it's been going for all this time. Unless it's a personal thing for yourselves that you don't want it to happen.
No, I don't. That's why I'm here.
There you go.
There you go.
And it very much sounds like this lady's got a personal thing. She doesn't want it to happen either.
I'm straight up, I don't want it to happen. I'm open about it, I don't lie about that.
right.
Because you say you're so keen on pressing it through. Are you all right?
No, I don't have a firearms certificate, I don't have a shotgun licence.
Just open up comments from the public, addressed to the chair, if the chair allows me to speak, okay, but otherwise, during the council meeting as it is now, please don't interrupt. Now, councillor Clinton, what's your proposal that the 3-month delay?
Yeah, and that we discuss it again, like on the last meeting, we had things that we brought over, that we bring it over.
Right, your proposal is if there's a penalty from the solicitors that the wildfowlers have to pay, the parish council.
I think if they're paying all of the legal fees and then we cancel the licence, we should reimburse them for the legal fees.
Why?
Because they've entered into it in good faith.
Okay. Right, can I have your proposal is 3 months delay?
To rediscuss, no, delay, to be just put over for 3 months.
Okay.
2 months.
Right.
Oh, wait, 2 months.
April's meeting. You want to do it that way?
I don't see the purpose of it though.
Because more fact finding, more information, speaking.
It's not
We
fact
are,
finding.
you've
It's
only
something
said,
that's, it's a traditional thing that's happened in the countryside forever.
so was bear baiting and putting kids up chimneys. The traditional argument doesn't work.
Well, it does work. If it's part of your way of life, I think you shouldn't have it stopped. When they're doing it for an hour at dawn and an hour at dusk
No, they're
for
not.
5 months of the year.
No.
If anybody's doing it
That's what
outside,
they were
if
doing.
anybody's doing it
Councillors.
outside of those times,
Councillors, please.
then it's a police matter because that's
Guy.
armed trespass.
Guy.
Yes.
It seems to me like you've got a personal vendetta against them and you're trying everything to stop it.
No, I've got an
Really?
issue. Do you know what my issue is? Is that wildfowlers are not sticking to their own rules. If they were sticking to their own rules and were right out where they should be, we wouldn't have an issue.
Can you show us the proof of that?
Proof? They've,
Well,
it's
we've
all
done
gone to
that.
the police. It's all gone to the police.
Well, I didn't ask say what the police said. Can you show us proof of that and name those wildfowlers?
John James.
This chap here.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Vote please on Councillor Cumberland's delay for 3 months. Was it 3 months or 2 months now?
No, I'm happy if it goes till April.
Okay, it's 2 months. You can't. Yeah. Okay. So we can't resolve it.
No, I think.
So we'll just have to defer it now.
Sorry, can you say that again? Carry on, don't listen to me.
We can't do it. We can't do it. Carry on to the next agenda.
Temporary vote.
Yeah.
I have requested a
But it was okay to have delays at the last meeting to
Yeah.
this one. But we can't have a delay only to get more information.
What information do you want?
I want to speak to Natural England about what we're going to do
Okay.
about the
I can
avian.
only
There's lots of issues.
without
I don't think you should be talking to Natural England as part of the parish council.
can I just say
No, I'll be in the meeting with yourself because it was agreed that I would be part of the Haven Committee.
There isn't a Haven committee.
Well, Haven Group, and it is in the minutes from I only read them last night. You would do it
I
along
thought
with
you read them
myself.
before last night. That's
We-
legal.
No, I've read them. I read them again.
the only delay
This is
I
getting a
can-
bit ridiculous now, isn't it? I mean, come on. It's like being in school.
Right.
Less education.
Defer it to next month. I can't get a quorum vote for the delay you're wanting. I can only defer it to next month. Okay. Right. Right, 11D, the replacement cart temporary administrator has been extended to 28th of February 23 as an advert. I don't know if that gentleman over there is interested in this administrator part, you know, doing.
Is that this chap here?
Yeah.
Sorry, say again.
You know, the temporary administrator, we're looking for somebody to
Would you be
correlate all
interested
the
in
information onto the
publishing?
internet, on a computer basically, not taking minutes.
I'd have to look into it before.
Okay.
We'll put an application. We're not inundated with them.
I'd have to look at what it entails first.
In the meantime, can that advert be published to the parish council and to Saltfleet News again?
Again.
Because until we do that, we're going to keep going on in circles on this stuff.
All right. Okay. Financial matters. Update on delivery archive to Lincoln. What was the answer on that?
It's in the car. I'm moving it to his car before I go home.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Financial matters. Application cost, road safety, they have received, I know on social media, over feet dragging, but it takes time with getting the application forms. We've got the application forms in now, and they want us to identify every lamppost we're going to put the signs on. If we're going to have these radar type signs, where they're going to be, which way they're going to be pointing, which ones they're going to be moved from A to B.
I thought we agreed we were going to put some signs, some temporary signs up initially for 3 months and see what happened. Is that not what we did?
Thing is, Grainthorpe have got them, and this traffic has slowed down. Now they've just not long ago put them up in North Thoresby, and it slowed the traffic down within a week.
Yeah.
And I think they're worth it. You know, if you put one end of the village and one the other, and then put two in the middle somewhere where you can move them about, which is what they do.
Right.
And then
I can see the benefit in a linear village, but we've got S-bends at one end and S-bend in the middle. The only bit where you could really speed is probably from the Crown going out.
No.
Warren Road.
No.
Warren Road, the main road.
Sometimes it's a wonder they don't winter crown.
Last night we went outside with the dog and we heard this noise, and it was a Ferrari going through the village. You didn't see the damn thing, it was just gone.
Yeah, they're good like that.
And that, yeah, I know, but it's a village. What happens if someone had walked out there?
Yeah.
Or someone with a dog or a child? It wasn't late. So something's got to be done.
If I could carry on then. The application cost is £50 and it includes 6 passive signs, either 30s or 40s. I don't